In 1936, Father Madsen and son Ole Christensen opened this garage. When another local garage burned in 1940, took over the Ford dealership, and they took over running the generator that produced the town's electricity until 1952, when Canwood linked to the grid. Ole ran the garage until 1978. Eric Danberg opened his blacksmith shop here in 1925. Brother Carl carried the Massey Harris brand. Son Helge took over, and in 1980 his sons Hugh and Stuart. In 1994 the Danbergs opened a shop in Big River. In 2004 the Canwood shop was demolished, age 78. The original church and parsonage were built in 1919. In 1926 and 1929 there were additions, and in 1953 a full basement was installed. In 1980 a new church was constructed, and this building was moved to Etobicoke. The town also had Anglican, Lutheran, and United services. Catholic worship was available in Debden, and Jewish services in Prince Albert. In 1914, the first one-room school was built. In 1922, the new brick school replaced it. The white schoolhouse became the high school. In the 50s and 60s, busing brought many new students into town. School facilities have grown steadily from these simple beginnings. The bank started business from the Central Hotel in 1919. This building was completed in 1922. As with many businesses, the manager lived upstairs. In a 1931 robbery, the criminals escaped, but with no money. In 1961, the Imperial Bank merged with the Bank of Commerce. In 1975, a modern new building replaced this one. The post office was a major town center. Every couple of days a train brought in the mail, and people gathered to get news from family and friends. Mr. Binsky ran this store from 1922 to 1937. He sold the store, moved to Prince Albert to run a store and the Avenue Hotel. This hardware was opened in 1915 by Smith and Watt. Charlie Watt bought sole ownership in 1934. In December 1947, the hardware and house burned. Mr. Watt rebuilt his hardware, the only business on the block to do so, and retired in 1973, aged 87. The bakery was one of the buildings from the old town. It was run until the 1920s by Ingvald Lunde. In the 1930s it was run by J.B. Vandermont, my grandfather, who had previously been the town dairyman. He sold it in 1946. It burned in 1947. Half of the front was rented to Sterling Cowles, the barber and reporter for the Canwood Times. Known as the Coffee Cup, this cafe and pool room were built in 1915. A notable owner in the 20s was Ernie Johnson, the manager of Doug Hawksworth of Canwood, the province's light heavyweight boxing champion. Guy Ellis bought the cafe and pool room in the 1930s and ran it with the hotel across the street. Variously called Torreson, Godfrey's, or Central Hotel, this hotel was built by Torreson in 1915. It was sold to Cowles in 1923. Godfrey bought it from Cowles and sold it to Guy Ellis in 1936. The Ellises sold it in 1943 to Louis Lee. The hotel burned in 1947. Paul Elklin built the store in 1912. It was bought out by a partner, Ivor Anderson, who ran it until 1931. In 1932, it was converted to an OK Economy store. It also burned in 1947. Built by Jim Riddle in 1914, this store sold to Len Margolis in 1920. The upstairs floor was the town's community hall until the Elks Hall was built. Then Permac ran the store into the mid-1950s. Into the 1980s, it continued as Edeen's ShopRite.